otherwise known as the Obsessive Compulsive Gamer, the O.C.G, and hopefully I'm live. Because last time I did the first 7 minutes of this, turned out I wasn't live. Okay, I'm live now.
Shall we? Alright, I got a couple of scrapes on the way here. We should find some medicinal plants, stock up. So it's time for your first lesson with the focus.
Sounds good. Let's get started.
Die unlocked Black Tide.
Like the ones in the Sacred Lands.
The focus helps you see the ones we need. There. Those plants by the stream should do the trick.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn off the pickup animations.
Bitter?
Yeah, well, at least they make you feel better. Alright, we should keep going.
Might want to grab more of these plants along the way.
Yeah, good idea. Those ruins. That's where we need to go.
I see a few ways down. What are we after exactly?
The backup? Well, it's an AI. It's hard to explain. Think of it like a set of instructions that can fix the world.
Sounds complicated.
Wait, I want to hear what the fuck he just said. Like, what her
Might want to grab
explanation
more
was.
of these plants along the way.
Yeah, good idea. This stuff spreads fast.
6 months ago, the land was fine. Now it's everywhere.
Those ruins. That's where we need to go. I don't know who put these ropes here, but we can use the line to slide down.
Find anything good?
A few supplies.
What are we after exactly?
The backup? Well, it's an AI. It's hard to explain. Think of it like a set of instructions that can fix the world.
Sounds complicated. Noticed you're, traveling light these days.
Yeah, I, ran into some trouble on the way here. Lost a lot of my gear.
Salvaging machine carcasses as usual. And there they go.
Looks like they left a carcass behind. A lot of arrows in that machine. Better take a closer look. Someone took down this machine recently.
Who else would come here?
I don't know. We better craft some arrows of our own. There might be trouble up ahead.
There's some ridgewood by the stream.
All right. Now to craft some arrows. Done.
Me too. Arrows ready. There's a ladder. But can't do Not for you. By the goddess. What was this place?
I don't know. The transmission... The, message I found didn't say. That a backup might be here. We need to find a way in. So, what happened after I left Meridian?
Well, there was a fuss when people realized you were gone. But then some of us figured you only would have left if it were for something important.
You were right about that. Down this way. Get to the grass.
Never seen one of those before.
Me neither. Those machines have it on alert.
How do you want to handle it?
The focus can help us. We can scan the machine before we make our move.
Okay.
Give it a second. Okay. See how parts of it are glowing? Those are its weak spots.
Got it. Its eye. It's a weak spot.
Right.
I'm ready.
Concentrate.
Another one's coming. How does the focus know all that?
It reads data on the machine.
Like a hunter studying its prey?
Yeah, kind of. So, after the fuss over me leaving, what did everyone else do?
Well, as soon as the celebration was over, my mother left. The rest of the Nora home. The Sun King put his people to work rebuilding the city, and I set out to find you.
Another ladder. Need to shoot.
Actually, I want to see some.
Said you got a focus since you were a child, right?
Yeah. Found my first one when I fell into a ruin. Got the others from an old cache not long ago. It's good to have extras.
Welcome to the Far Zenith launch facility.
Far Zenith? I know they made some tech trades with Zero Dawn, but why would they have a backup of Gaia?
Please register with reception for the tour.
I guess they want us to check in with them.
Please hold for identiscan. Access denied. Please wait here for personnel to assist you. Dr. Sobek.
Okay. I guess they weren't on great terms with Elizabeth. Well, let's find a way in.
Please hold for identiscan. Access denied. Credentials not recognized.
I guess it doesn't like me either.
I should be able to pry this open. There's climbing gear. Guess someone dropped in from above. Whoever left this here might have also shot those machines we found earlier.
So where are they now? Ugh, what's that stench?
Entire camp. Wiped out. They must have come here to delve for scrap.
Acid. That explains the smell. And it looks like something big came in from above.
Crashed right through the camp. Then through the wall. I should take a look at the rubble in that gap. Whatever came through here brought this down as it went out. If I can dislodge some of the debris, we might be able to squeeze through. Maybe I can find something to help in the camp.
Aloy, over here. I think I got something. It's some kind of Osram prototype, I think.
I gotta leave it right
This
now.
hook looks like it can latch onto things.
And this gear pulls it back.
It looks broken, but maybe we can repair it. Hook it to the debris.
And pull it out. That could work. The focus can help us search the camp and identify anything we can use to fix the tool. My focus picked up a couple of things to check out.
Poor guy. Acid burned right through his armor.
Part of a machine. Could help fix the gears.
They honestly made the melee combat so much better in the sequel.
Machine cable. Stronger than rope. Alright, I think I have what I need to repair the tool. Or maybe even make something better.
You could use this workbench.
There. Pole caster. Now to test it on the debris. Better than I thought. Well, it doesn't look like there's an easy way out of here. I should scan the area. We have to find a way to keep going.
Huh. What's this thing for?
What's this?
Whoa.
Good morning. I'm Oswald Dalgard, and it is my pleasure to introduce you to Far Zenith. Forget what you think you know about us. Our truth is simple. We say reach for the stars, even if you have to cross 8.6 light years of space to get there. Please proceed into the auditorium, where we'll unveil our plans.
Wonder what's in this auditorium.
Guess we'll find out.
Man, that is fucking gorgeous.
Oh, I might be able to get up there. Wow, that works.
That pullcaster's useful. Too bad there's only one.
Don't worry, I'll find you another way up. Okay, I gotta drop the ladder for Varl. There you go, Varl.
Thanks.
Humans, Homo sapiens, us. We have always pushed the boundary as explorers, pioneers, trailblazers. And now Far Zenith is taking the next leap into the future. That's why we're proud to have resurrected the Odyssey. What our governments abandoned in orbit, Far Zenith will actualize in less than a decade. But that's only the beginning. When the ship is complete, we will send the Odyssey and her crew where no one's gone before. The Sirius system. There, we'll create humanity's first off-world colony. The Odyssey may take 300 years to reach it. But when we look up at the night sky, we'll know they're on their way. And in the words of our founder, the late Peter Chimbumbe, the truest form of immortality is...
Data corrupt. Playback stopped.
The old ones could fly through the sky? Between the stars?
Well, yes, sort of. That ship, the Odyssey, it never made it to the other star. Something went wrong, and it blew up. Is that why Elizabeth gave them a backup of Gaia? For a colony?
Error. Public presentation file corrupted. Member recruitment file available. Do you wish to reactivate?
Yeah, reactivate. Let's see what else they had to say.
We all know the projections. Economic instability, new biocontagions, rampant AIs. How long before another catastrophe creates unacceptable risk for the world's elite? We here at Far Zenith believe, escape the inevitable. And so we reach for the stars. Now you've seen what we're building here. Infrastructure to support the Odyssey's construction. A state-of-the-art data center to facilitate rapid technological advancements. And you've seen how we're managing public perception. So invest and join us. Claim your berth on the Odyssey. Preserve your way of life beyond the concerns of Earth.
Well, they were right about the world ending. They just didn't know how. Yet.
So everything they said back there about the next step for humanity, it was all a lie. These people only cared about saving their own skin.
Yeah, well, didn't work out for them in the end. That Oswald guy mentioned a data center. There. The backup. It should be stored in there.
Won't be able to swim across.
I guess we'll have to find a way around. Come on.
The wilds have really grown over this place.
And then some.
Deeper into the creepy one we go.
What is that?
Anything to kill this awesome. Careful. Don't want those things to call in some friends from underground. You take the left one. I'll deal with the one on the right.
Okay. Moving off.
I need to sneak up on it to take it out with my spear. Can't let it see me. I should scan it first. Check its patrol path.
More of those machines ahead.
Nothing you really can't handle.
I wonder, do I still have a hunter, trapper, warrior, survivor, infiltrator? Do I still have death from above? I think I might. No, fuck. Okay, we'll try this again. God, that was slick as fuck.
I've been meaning to mention, I noticed you have a new look these days.
Yeah, I know. Didn't have a lot of time to shave when I was trying to catch up to you. Don't worry, it's not permanent.
Good.
Sorry my whiskers offend you, anointed.
Looks like this little guy got caught up in the blight. Couldn't escape.
I hope it didn't suffer long.
The Osram must have used explosives against the machines.
They managed to get a couple.
Looks like there was a barricade here. Machines must have broken through. I'll keep this for later.
Guess that Osram didn't have a chance to use it.
There. Managed to salvage some supplies.
And not blow
Dismantled
yourself
it.
up.
And got more supplies. Looks like another camp.
While we're here, maybe we can make some traps of our own. Might come in handy against machines.
Good idea. I can use this. I don't have the right supplies to craft a trap. But it looks like the Osram shot off some machine parts. I might be able to scrounge up enough materials from them. Okay. Should have what I need to craft a trap. There. Explosive trap made.
If anything walks into one of those, they won't know what hit it. Over here. Aloy, I think I see a way up.
Machine's ahead.
Don't think they spotted us.
Scan them.
I've seen this machine before. A scoundrel.
That's new to me. Let's see where its weak points are.
Maybe we could place one of those traps you made in its path. We're clear.
Let's keep going then.
You've been in a lot of old world ruins. Are they all like this?
They all have their secrets, but every place is different.
That machine we saw earlier must be on the move.
Let's hope it doesn't come this way.
That's a big storm picking up out there.
Yeah. And they're getting stronger. And more frequent.
So the storms, the blighted lands, the rivers and lakes choked with algae. You were born to fix all that?
Yeah. I'll do it if I find that backup. I think we're winding our way around to the data center. We'll need to cut through that big building on the right out there. Hey, Varl. This data mentions the tech that Far Zenith traded with Zero Dawn. It doesn't explain how they got it back up.
I'll keep an eye out for more data.
Looks like we've got to climb up.
Let's see. Huh. A lot of glyphs. I'll tuck this away to study later. This place is really falling apart.
Well, it is 1,000 years old. Looks like some kind of meeting room. That door on the other side's locked. Onzu.
The Zero Dawn terraforming system, the brainchild of Dr. Elizabeth Sobek. Empowered by 9 subordinate functions, Gaia, the core of the system, is capable of advanced planetary engineering, an obvious advantage to our space colonization efforts. Operation Phase 1. Establish an asset within Project Zero Dawn. Status complete. Phase 2. The asset will secretly beamcast a complete copy of Gaia and her subordinate functions to this facility's data center. If all goes well, Zero Dawn staff will remain completely unaware of the transmission. Risks. Discovery of this operation could result in Zero Dawn withholding the already negotiated Apollo database. Special care must be taken not to alert Travis Tate, the expert hacker in charge of Hades Protocol. In addition, extreme caution must be exercised in regards to Dr. Sobek herself. As one of the world's preeminent technologists, she may have instituted unforeseen security measures. A complete assessment is attached. This concludes the executive summary.
I thought Elizabeth sent the backup here. But she didn't. Far Zenith stole Gaia.
Aloy, why does that woman look like you?
It's okay, Pearl. We look alike because we're the exact same. Genetically identical.
But she was one of the old ones. How can you be her?
Because I wasn't born. I was made. By a machine. It's why I'm motherless, why I was cast out as an infant.
I don't understand. What kind of machine can make a person?
Remember when I said the backup is like a set of instructions? It's more than that. It's called Gaia. And for a long time, she cared for the world.
I know, Echo, I love you.
Destroy herself. So she made me to bring her back. I'm the only one who can. And this place is my last hope.
You once said the goddess spoke to you when you went into All-Mother Mountain. Was that this Gaia?
Yes, but she's not the goddess, Laurel. There isn't one.
How can you be sure? It sounds like she anointed you with a sacred task.
I've had a lot of time to figure this out. And you will too, with the focus. But for now, the reports said they were going to store the stolen copy of Gaia in the data center. So that's where we have to go. Okay?
Huh. Look at that. Aloy, over here. I found something you could use.
A weapon. Thanks, Laurel. We should keep moving.
After you.
Down here. I think we're almost back outside.
Good. Look, that must be the machine.
It's going in the same direction we're going. Great. Those machines. I could try to build a weapon on it. All the awesome delvers. There's a lot of us. That big machine must have attacked as they tried to escape.
They didn't stand a chance.
Looks like we can cross over here.
So, you said this backup is the last hope.
All those places I've been these last few months, there were supposed to be more backups. But 1,000 years ago, a guy named Ted Pharaoh purged them. No. It was worse.
Imagine going up to the stars on that. Machines patrolling ahead.
We can tag them in focus to keep track of them. Sneaky one. So tell me something. Sona was really okay with you not going back to the Sacred Lands?
As the Nora war chief, she understood why I was obligated to follow you. But as my mother, she wasn't pleased.
Is she ever pleased? I don't think I've seen her smile.
Me neither. Three of those things. And if they slaughtered all those Osram, we'll never get through to the data center.
There's no way to slip past them. They're too tough to fight head-on.
We could find a settlement. Convince some hunters to help us.
That would take weeks, and we don't have that kind of time. Maybe all we need is that shuttle to fall.
That thing? How?
I'll figure it out. Just wait here.
Aloy.
Trust me.
And there she goes.
If I can make it to that tower, we should be able to find a way across to the shuttle. Maybe I should stick to my speed for now. Save some ammo. There. That ladder takes us to the tower. Okay, there's a rail up there. I think I can reach it if I launch myself off that grapple point. Well, that sounds good. This looks so bad. Made it. It's close. One rickety tower down. On to the next. I won't be able to make that jump. Well, nowhere to go but up. This place is barely holding together. Looks like there are massive clamps holding the shuttle in place. I'll bet there's a control console nearby. If I can release the clamps, the shuttle should fall right into the basement. Great. Oh, shit.
can come back up here in a little while, Echo. You know I love you. Don't be mean.
To myself now. Control console might be in there. Okay. Time to crush those machines down below. The shuttle's caught up in those cables. I'm gonna have to climb the tower to find a way to disconnect them. Now, how to get up the tower? Scanning with my focus could help here. If I pull that beam down, it might drop the access lift. Closer to the shield to detach the cables. Clicking doesn't sound good. I have to detach those cables quick. Be the right spot. There. The connectors holding the cables together. Should break if I shoot. One down. I just need to climb higher. Attach the second set of cables. Scaling an ancient, rickety tower with killer machines waiting down below. I was right. I'm turning back now. Almost there. There's the other connector. This the hard way. I need to take this thing down to get to the data center. I should scan for weak spots. Okay, what's that weak spot? That sack's full of acid. Here's the target first. Take this thing down fast. Fast maybe. Frost ammo. Or my focus might find something I can use around here.
Oh yeah.
Finally.
No, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
The data center should be straight ahead. I guess Varl's gonna have to find another way there.
Oh, that's cool.
Once I get the backup, I can reboot Gaia. Fix the system, heal the blight. Restore Elizabeth's dream. But is it still there?
I basically got the platinum for for Zero Dawn. So I just started over Forbidden West. And I intend to get the platinum for this as well.
Okay. I should find a server room.
No, this is Forbidden West.
I'm close. I have to be. Please be here.
No, this is the sequel. This is Horizon 2, Forbidden West.
It's here.
Gaia version 6.9. Initializing. Hello.
Hi. Elizabeth? Travis Tate.
Now, what's this we got here? A Farzian's conspiracy to steal a copy of Gaia? And her subordinate functions? Naughty, naughty. You want me to handle this, Liz? Blasphemers! Brood of vipers! With a mighty hand I smite and pour troubles upon you! This ain't no copy of Gaia you stole, you losers. But it's the mother of all logic bombs. So good luck repairing your data. And next time you start thinking you can outsmart a Tate, remember my salute.
Aloy? The goddess.
There is no goddess. I told you that already. That's not Gaia. It's not what I'm looking for. It's nothing but a fake.
I got it.
Carl, I'm sorry.
You have a sharp bite sometimes, you know? But it was pretty amazing to see you fly off that tower and blow up the entire basin.
The thing is, there's going to be more of that. I'm out of leads, Varl. But I have to keep searching. And fast, and whatever risks I have to take, I will. And it doesn't make sense to have someone with me. Someone who might get hurt. This is on me, Varl. Nobody else.
Hold on. Before, in Meridian, you said there was a man who helped you. Silence. You said you used to talk to him a lot about things you discovered from the old world, things no one else understands. And he gave you the lance you used to defeat Hades.
He's gone, Varl. I haven't heard from him since the battle against Hades.
Sure, but Spy Master Murad back in Meridian, he's good at finding people, isn't he?
Varl,
Come on, it might work. Plus, you'll get to see some friendly faces again.
Okay. I guess it's worth a shot.
We've got a long walk ahead.
Yeah.
I've got a better idea.
In the first game, she was kind of an outcast, you know, so she kind of did everything solo. And the whole point of this game is kind of trying to break her of that she can't do everything on her own. She's got to work together. My name is Jimmy.
Son, it's true.
She's
come back.
Bless us. The savior of Meridian has returned.
You earned this welcome. You saved them.
Not yet.
In the name of the Sun King of Vard, a royal welcome for the champion.
Make way. Murad.
No, actually. I got about halfway through this game. And, then I just got away from it. Wasn't that I didn't like it. I like this game quite a good bit. I just got away from it. You know, backlog being what it is. And then I was away from it, and I was away from it, I was away from it. And then they released the DLC, a pretty big one for this. And I played, you know, I got the DLC, but I didn't play it, because you have to beat it. It's not, okay, you know, like, there's a DLC for Zero Dawn, the Frozen Wilds. That's kind of like a side story. It kind of ties into the end of the game, but you don't have to beat the game to play it. Forbidden West is not that way. The DLC begins right after the main story's conclusion. You can't even start it until after you've beaten the main story. Because you know what I'm saying? Like, it begins immediately afterwards. So, you know, I got the DLC, and I've been meaning to play it. It sat on my backlog. The Frozen Wilds is really good. I honestly think it's better than the base game. I think Forbidden West in general, though, is so much fucking better than the original game. It's like, you have to understand, with Zero Dawn, the team that made the Horizon games is Guerrilla Games, okay? What they made before this was Killzone. Okay, that was all they made, was the Killzone series. So they had spent their entire time as a company making first-person shooters that were super linear. You know, I like Killzone. Okay, so when they did Zero Dawn, the whole point was they were tired of Killzone because they had been working on it for over 15 years. They'd done like 5 games. They wanted to do something that was the complete opposite of Killzone. So they're like, hey, you know, instead of doing a linear first-person game, let's do an open-world third-person game. And that was the whole point, was to get as far away from what they had previously done as possible. But they also were doing a lot of shit that they had no experience with. They never designed an open world. You know what I'm saying? So, Zero Dawn had a lot of great stuff. But it was really rough around the edges. At least for me. For every one thing I like about Zero Dawn, there's something else I don't. It has incredible lore, but it takes way too fucking long to start getting to the good stuff. It has great combat, but the enemies were too bullet spongy. They have an obscene health. It's just like, I don't want to spend 15 minutes to kill every fucking enemy in my path. I have to turn down the difficulty. The world is super great, but navigating it could be a chore. It's like, and I'm not trying to shit on Zero Dawn, okay, because I like Zero Dawn. I played Zero Dawn at launch. I got the fucking remaster. I platinumed the remaster, so that I literally 100% completed it, so I like it, but it's just like, it was the rough kind of first draft. Like, you could see the potential that was there. And I feel like Forbidden West pretty much takes everything that the first game did and fucking runs with it. As hopefully you're gonna see, okay? Because sorry, I got a few stuck in my teeth. They could have released a sequel to this very soon after the original game. And just been more of the same thing. But this game came out 5 years after the original. The original game came out Valentine's Day 2017, and this game came out February 2022. So it's about 5 years, almost exactly, between the two games. Because they wanted to completely overhaul the game, So it took, it's the same basic principle, the core. Exploring the futuristic ruins of Earth, finding the tribes, taming machines, killing them, using bows. But every single part of it was picked apart, rebuilt, and put back together again. It's Zero Dawn was like the rough draft, and Forbidden West is like the genuine article. And hopefully you'll be able to see that. It is just, I can't even begin to describe all of the ways that Forbidden West is better than Zero Dawn. It is so fucking massive, the gulf in quality, And part of it was just a learning experience. Like I said, they had never made a third-person game. They had never made a game with platforming. They'd never made a world game, so a lot of that was they just had to learn the hard way. So they were able to take all that experience and learn from it, and then the other part is that Zero Dawn was an unexpectedly massive hit. Like, don't get me wrong, it was a major Sony game. They expected it to sell well. But to this day, Zero Dawn is the best-selling Sony first-party game ever. Obviously, it's not the best-selling game on the Sony system, because that would be GTA 5 or Minecraft, but it's the best-selling game owned by Sony. So, like, that's counting God of War, that's counting Spider-Man, that's counting Uncharted, that's counting The Last of Us, okay? So, they were expecting, Zero Dawn to sell a good chunk, because it was a big budget production, but it wound up far, far exceeding their sales expectations. Literally becoming, like I said, the highest selling game that Sony's ever made. And this game's actually sold really well too. It just hasn't been out as long, but it's, I think this game has sold like 15 million copies, and it's been out for 2 years. Yeah, The Last of Us is great. I just mentioned that because it's a heavy hitter, you know what I'm saying? It's one of the big sellers for Sony, and you know that. That's what I'm saying. I'm using it as a point of reference. God of War. So part of it was just them learning from their mistakes. And then the other part of it was because the games just dramatically exceeded their expectations. And in terms of sales, they were able to spend a lot more money on the second game. So, you'll be able to see what I mean. It is just such a massive fucking leap in quality that it's hard to express.
A shame. That makes two of us. I've sent forth hunters for weeks. To Sunfall, all the way to the Sacred Land, searching for you. Something happened at the Spire. I'll show you.
What you're saying, sure, but we're still cleaning up the mess. It happened right after the solstice. We were able to explain it away, thank the sun. Otherwise, might have caused a panic. One night, for less than half a minute, glowed an angry red. From Meridian, it looked like a trick of the lights. But those who were closer, atop the light, said it could not have been a reflection. Much to my dismay, they said the light rose up from the tower's base. From that. We left everything just as it was. What do you think happened?
I don't know. The Spire's supposed to send out signals, messages, the terraforming system.
But Hades tried to use it to wake up ancient war machines.
I'm sure I got the connection to that thing. Wait here while I check it out.
Let us know what you find.
Machine carcasses. Remnants from the Battle of the Elite. We were almost overrun by the machines Hades controlled. But we pushed through.
You briefly revisit Meridian in this game. Just for a little bit. Just as like one section. Mainly to catch up on plot stuff. The majority of this game takes place on a new map, the Forbidden West.
Battle really wrecked this place.
Which they talked about, you know, in Zero Dawn. They mentioned it a couple times. And that's another thing that this game really did well, the series did well, is they planned that on doing multiple games. They intended for this to be a series from the beginning. So they were able to foreshadow a lot of that shit in advance because they had plans.
Your eyes open for the metal parts in the debris.
You know, a lot of games, a lot of game series, a lot of movies, a lot of books, whatever, they will plan on being a series, but they won't actually plan out the games, if that makes sense. So, a lot of the time, you'll get these, like, hasty contrivances because they're kind of writing the story as they go. And that's fine, it can work, but you get all kinds of nasty inconsistencies when you do that.
Same as before.
In my opinion, it's better when you fully flesh it out.
Honoring those who fell in the Battle of the Elite. Lots of brave people defended this place from Hades. Is that a statue of me? That's new. I guess I should be flattered by the statue. It feels wrong. Especially when my job's only half done.
Yeah, well, this sequel is dramatically better. I mean, just, like it is hard almost to express to you how much better it is in every way. The story, the characters, the gameplay, the progression system, the map, the monster, like, I can't even do it justice. You know, especially one of the things they overhauled. Well, okay, some of the major things, for example, is the melee combat. The melee combat in the first game fucking sucked. It was shitty. I mean, it wasn't a deal breaker because it was a more like range combat focus. But the melee combat, when you did have to do melee combat, felt clunky as fuck. They have, radically overhauled the melee combat to the point where it is 1,000 million fucking times better. And, you know, that's just to start with. You have, like, a whole skill of fucking melee combos. You know, the mounts in the first game were painfully slow. Like, I didn't expect them to be like a machine car, but they were slower than, like, an actual horse in real life. And they were hard to control. They're much faster now and easier to control. And, one of the problems that I had with the original game is the platforming. The game world is incredibly mountainous in the first game. Which there's nothing wrong with that on the surface. But the problem with it being incredibly mountainous is that you could only climb in the very specific spots that they wanted you to climb. And not only
Look at
you! Could you only climb in the specific places that they denoted?
Stop hammering if you hear a scraping.
But it was really a struggle to get down, because if you fell more than a few feet, you'd die. Like, the fall damage was ridiculous. And they have dramatically fixed that in this game in a couple of ways. For starters, you can pretty much climb almost anything now. There are a couple things you can't climb, but for the most part, if you see a mountain, you can just climb it. You don't have to, like, climb a set yellow path with paint that they put on it. You can just climb it. And then, secondly, very early on, after the introduction, you get a glider that lets you glide and not take fall damage. So you can climb anything, pretty much, and you can safely get down from heights without having to fucking die. And considering how mountainous the game world is, that is a big deal. Plus you get the grappling hook that you can launch off of. They do some cool shit with that too. So even something as simple as like the sliding. In the original game you can slide, and that's fine. Like, the sliding was good, but it was kind of slow. In this game, not only can you slide a lot faster, but if you slide down a hill, you pick up super momentum. So you can get a running start and really slide all the way down a hill.
Oh, hi. Took you long enough.
So it's way better in that respect. And those are just some of the improvements, like the leap in quality that this game makes, or like underwater shit. Okay, in the original game there was lots of water, okay, but you could only swim at the very top, and the swimming was kind of shitty anyway, okay. But you know, it didn't need to be good because you didn't do like a lot of it. In Forbidden West, you can swim fully under the water, fully swim, you know, underground, and you get a rebreather, and there's like big ass portions of the world that are underwater, which makes sense because in this game you go to California, and California, just so you know, it will pretty much fucking collapse at one point, okay? Like, that's not even like a joke. At one point, California is going to fall into the ocean.
Check out the orb first.
And it's something that they actively have to work on to stop it from happening. It's something. Well, I mean, it happens with just about any place that's set on the water. Okay, like Venice. Okay, Venice sorry, my voice is cracking. Venice sinks a couple of feet into the water every year. And, like, if for any point, they just stopped doing, stopped maintaining it, the whole fucking city would eventually go under the water. So, like, they have an entire crew of people who just go around the city propping that shit up to counteract the sinking. Okay? And in a lot of places that are by the water, it's like that. So, if humanity were to say, you know, suddenly go extinct for a while, like what happened in this game, a lot of those places that sit on the water would fucking sink beneath the ocean. Really quickly. Especially because this is, like, literally 1,000 years after humanity's fall. So, you get to go to San Francisco in this game, but a large part of San Francisco is under the fucking water. But it's cool because you get a rebreather and you can actually dive and swim down there, and they have aquatic monsters. And because you have a rebreather, it's not like, oh, I have to worry about my oxygen level. It's like you like to fully explore. So, and then towards the end of the game, very far from now, but towards the end of the game, you get a fucking flying mount, and then you can freely fly. Like I said, you pretty much have to be at, like, the very end of the game before you get that, because it makes a lot of the other traveling trivial. But you get to fly. So they expand the world upwards and downwards with the sky and the water.
Could pull this thing out of the water. What? Transmission. Something was transmitted from the top of the spire. I guess I have to find a way up there. Maybe I can jump to that ledge.
Excuse me. Or see, like, even that, even be able to launch yourself back off of something. You can just freely back launch. Couldn't do that in the original game either. You can jump to the side now and freely control it. So I can jump over here. Like, just the whole fucking thing was just overhauled. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's not one part of this game that wasn't overhauled from the first game. You know, she gets a grappling hook, she can use to pull shit.
Hellcaster can't reach that from here. I need to get closer. There we go.
So that you have all kinds of cool shit like that.
I thought Silence was helping me when he gave me his lens. Looks like he tricked me. Transmitted something through the spire. Did he save Hades? Why would he do that? Well, if I can figure out where he sent it, I can track him down.
I'm gonna force myself to cough. It's part of my OCD. I just don't want you to worry about me. It's just the OCD thing. I get a tickle in the back of my throat, and then I'm like, oh. I had to make myself cough 25 times. It's annoying.
Transmission note at the top will tell me. Well, doesn't look like I can keep climbing this way. Looks like this panel's ajar. Can I go up through the inside? An elevator? Let's see.
Access lift activated.
Day.
Engaging maintenance configuration.
The whole thing is opening up. Wonder what the Carja will make of this. There's the note. Sword of the Far West. Bastard.
Well, Aloy, I see you finally figured it out. To be honest, I'm surprised it took you so long to discover my ruse.
You rigged the lands to steal Hades. How could you be so reckless?
Reckless? You're the one who tried to purge Hades before its precious knowledge could be extracted. The mysterious signal that woke it, for example. Or why to obtain one of those Gaia backups you've been having such a hard time finding.
If you knew, why didn't you just tell me?
I've been having problems of my own these past 6 months, Aloy. The difference is, I've made progress. So once your anger at my entirely necessary deception has faded, why don't you come out here and find me in the Forbidden West, and learn all that I've discovered?
Oh, I'll come find you, all right.
Yes. Well, the coordinates make it simple enough. Even for you.
There's no other choice. Better let Varl and Murad know what I found.
You went inside it, and it transformed. Almost like the day of the battle.
I can only be grateful that it's a stormy day. Few will have seen the tower change from Meridian. What did you discover?
Hades. The danger didn't end here. It went into the Forbidden West. And I have to follow.
I see. That can be difficult. The West is called Forbidden for a reason. A tribe of ferocious warriors controls much of it. The Tanakh, and they allow no trespassers past its border. That said, under the Sun King of Ard, a fragile peace has been negotiated. And indeed, the next embassy will take place in a day or two, on the edge of the frontier. Were you to attend the gathering under his auspices, the Tanakh might grant right of passage, instead of hunting you and attacking on sight.
Great, just what I need. More killers.
The Sun King.
Aloy, it's good
Oh,
to
really?
see
What happened?
you. You left in such haste. We never had a chance to properly thank you.
Can we show the champion the spear now? Please?
Itamin, quiet.
It's true. We bear gifts. Decorum usually calls for a ceremony of offering at the palace. But I thought you would prefer a less formal occasion. Bring them, please.
Avad, this is all very kind, but I... Who's it? Vanasha.
Quick. Better hand them over before she runs off again.
Really? Must you?
Try it on.
It's beautiful.
On behalf of all the citizens of the Sundom, may these tokens remind you of our eternal gratitude.
Got a new spear. Oh yeah!
Perhaps you'd like to spend more time with your friends. Come speak to me when you're ready to depart.
I need to attach the master override to my new spear. Should be a workbench around here I can use.
Yeah, you gotta bait him in there, Mary. Like, yeah. Do I sound young? It's like, this is the voice I used when I fucked your mom. You little brat. Your mom was telling me she you need a new stepdad. You're gonna get one, you fucking noob. I like how they actually have shit you can read. Bios and stuff. Just like that, well, like I said, that one step they just took. It just takes it a step further. It's cool. Hold on a second. I've been telling myself that I'm gonna fucking stop doing my O.C.G ritual and put it off. I can put it off anymore. This will be the last time that I do my ritual. Well, not really doing it, but a little bit. I normally I try to do shit like this on stream, but it kind of helps bring awareness to people. You know, this is what O.C.G looks like, you know, maybe not what people expected. So, yeah, it's going to be the last time I do my ritual, and then I'm going to be done. Man, OCD is a bitch. Well, severe OCD. In all fairness, a lot of people don't really have it quite as bad as me. So. I'm gonna make myself cough one more time. I just don't you think I'm actually coughing because I have to cough, or like for some wrong with me, I'm just, it's an OCD thing. See? Like, you might worry if you thought that was just me coughing like that. And not making myself cough so I can reach a number of coughs from OCD. This is why I'm trying so hard to quit doing this shit, because this is not good for me. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, it's just hard, because it's like trying to fight OCD is like trying to fight fucking gravity. You know that you shouldn't do it, you know what I mean? Like, logically, you know, and that's one of the things I try to tell people about OCD they don't understand. It's one of the things that makes people, drives people with OCD so crazy, is, a lot of people who are crazy don't know they're crazy. But people with OCD know what they're doing is crazy and they feel compelled to do it anyway. It's like they don't want to do it either. You know what I'm saying? You know, you see me beating on myself and you're like, oh man, that's fucking crazy. I think that's fucking crazy. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing. I wish I didn't fucking do it either. And yet, if you didn't fucking hit yourself a certain amount of times, that you felt like you were losing your fucking mind. Excuse me. Oh man, am I gonna sneeze again? Oh. Oh yeah, I knew the second one was coming. I could feel it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh. Almost done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 77. Sorry. And I hate subjecting you to this, Mary. It helps me though in a way, because it means that there's somebody there to know that I'm doing it, so I don't have to wonder, when was the last time I did it? Okay. I can finally be fucking done with that. So let's say it's 12:09 right now. Let's say 12:42. 12:42. You still there, Mary? Or did you think, oh my god, this guy's crazy, and fucking bounce? Wouldn't blame you. Well, I hope you're still there.
Sorry, give me 1 second. Have you seen, have you ever watched the new Hawaii Five-0, Mary? Well, I say new, relatively new. My mom and dad really like watching that show.
I think you like it.
That's part of the Deathbringer we defeated. This machine was the last line of defense for Hades. It dragged the orb up here and then nearly killed me, but it's just a piece of scrap now.
Echo, I love you, but not right now.
Eat something.
Dowager Queen Masadi.
Blessed champion. Itaman, what do you say?
My humblest thanks to you, great champion, for delivering my mother and me from Sunfall, and for defending our holy city against the forces of Shadow. Did I say right?
You said it fine, Edmund. And you're welcome.
Champion, will you teach me how to shoot like a real machine hunter?
Itaman.
I have to go on an important mission, Prince.
To save the world?
Something like that. But when I come back, I could give you a few tips. It would be an honor.
We owe you our lives, champion, and we will not forget. May the sun light your way.
Watch out for Thunderjaws, champion!
The sculptor wanted something even bigger, twice the size, covered in gold and jewels. But I was quite certain you wouldn't appreciate that.
You were right. I'm sorry, Avad. It's good to see you, but I can't stay long.
I see. I'd hoped you'd remain in the city for a time. Perhaps at the palace.
Meridian's still in danger, but it's bigger than that. To put things right, I have to go west. To Nox territory.
By the sun, that's a knock? Well, perhaps Murad already told you, but after years of hostility, we've negotiated a truce, in hopes of a lasting peace. Another embassy will be held in just a day or two.
Itaman looks happy.
You got him out of Sunfall. Any happiness he has, he owes to you.
I love you, Echo. You just won't take no for an answer, will
He's
you?
turning into a fine young man, which he'll need to be if he's to inherit the crown.
Wouldn't the crown go to a son of yours first?
Yes, well, I'd have to get married for that to happen. Murad keeps throwing noble matches at me. But I find I'm always trying to make them into someone they're not. At any rate, I never aspired to the throne, and I don't wish to sit there forever. When Edelman comes of age, I hope to step aside. Free of the crown. I might finally be able to travel the world. Who knows? Perhaps even accompany you on one of your adventures.
You make it sound easy. What makes this coming embassy so special?
Well, just like today, it is special because of the guest. Our delegation will meet with the Tanakh just outside Barren Light. We'll give them treasure, and they'll return a prisoner. Fashav, one of our finest soldiers.
Soldier? Don't you mean Raider?
No, not in this case. Fashav is my cousin, nothing like Helis and his ilk. He joined the Western expedition with the hopes of reining in certain excesses. But he was captured during a heroic defense of our forward base at Cinnabar Sands, and has been held ever since.
I need to get going.
One moment, Aloy. There's something I must ask you. Since you left, I've thought of little else.
This isn't really the time.
But it has to be. The way you left before, there's no way to know when I'll see you again. I'm not trying to stop you, or hold you back. But I need to know, when your mission is over.
Yeah, a lot of people got really upset because they kind of made Aloy gay. Throughout the first game, she has a lot of people who are interested in her. And in this game, there's a lot of guys that are interested in her. And then, like, the first time she gets the opportunity to kiss somebody, it's a chick. And, yeah, I sort of see, like, part of the problem. I mean, some people were just upset because, like, suddenly the chick they liked is gay, and that's not okay, you know. But for me, it's not that she's gay. I don't fucking care, you know. It's a fictional character, and if somebody's gay, I don't give a fuck, you know. Like, if somebody being gay doesn't bother me, especially because it's just like, you know, there's enough fucking fish in the sea that, you know, one more, you know, like, I'll never find another straight woman, But, you know, but for me, it's just like they spend so much time in the first game, and in this game, actually, to a pretty good degree, setting up male love interests, only to then say, we're not going to do that. We're gonna do chicks, which is fine. It just kind of makes that like a dead end. You know what I mean? Like, all the time they spent developing male romantic leads for Aloy, male paramours, I guess you could say, to be like, nah, she likes chicks. Seems like them. Why did you spend so much time setting up all those male romances to not have them go anywhere? And it's also because it kind of aggravates me, because something I've noticed, okay, is, you know, we're getting a lot more female. Okay, Echo, I love you, but you gotta get up right now. You can come back up here later. You're just hurting me right now. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the way to explain this. So, games are male-dominated. But, contrary to what a lot of people think, it's not because women are not wanted. It's because a lot of women are not interested. They have done tons and tons and tons of studies that have shown that men are just way more likely to be interested in games, and that men are more likely to be more hardcore into games. There was like this whole fucking paper that gets misquoted where they said half of all gamers are female. That is a blatant fucking lie. I mean, like, I wish it was true. It's not. They were talking, when they said that statistic, they were talking about, like, cell phone games with Candy Crush being the majority of that. And I'm sorry, but I don't consider, if, like, the only video game that you play is Candy Crush, I don't consider you a gamer. I don't. Okay? So, if there's a chick who plays a lot of Candy Crush on her phone, I'm not going to consider her a gamer. I wouldn't consider her a fucking male that did that a gamer. And if you take out the mobile games, the casual mobile games they were doing, like Farmville and stuff like that, which I'm not shitting on that, but I'm saying those are not games in the sense that I'm thinking of. When they said half of all females are gamers, people were thinking like console, PC, Switch. No, you're not even thinking fucking cell phone games. You know what I'm saying? When you take that out of the equation, it drops to, at most, about 20% of the console market is female. And then it breaks down into more splinters, but that's a whole thing. But, okay, so 80%, the overwhelming majority of gamers are male. That is a statistical fact. And it's not for lack of trying. And I think one of the problems that has kind of irked a lot of people with that whole topic is there are people that are spreading this belief, right, that there's not more women in gamers because male gamers don't let them. We're telling them, get out of gaming, get back in the kitchen, and all that shit. And, you know, don't get me wrong. There's always going to be fucking people like that, okay? I'm not saying that doesn't happen. But what people don't really understand, or they're choosing not to understand, however you want to look at it, is those people that are toxic to women in that way are toxic to everybody in that way. The same fucking guy that's going to sit there and tell a girl in a multiplayer COD match to get back in the kitchen is the same fucking guy that's also going to sit there and shit talk a male. They're trolls. They troll everybody. They target everyone. I would say that the vast majority of them are not targeting women. It's just, a lot of people don't care when it happens to men. Like, there's a double standard where, like, if a guy is told to go kill himself, or fuck you, or I'm gonna fuck your mom, or something like that in Call of Duty, people just laugh it off. But if you said the same thing to a girl, it's a big deal. And I kind of feel like it's always a big deal, or it's not. You can't say, well, like one time when I was still streaming on Twitch, this is several years ago. I haven't been sleeping well lately. I was playing Days Gone, actually. And I had a bunch of people raid my stream and harass me, tell me they were going to fuck me in the ass, they were going to rape me, they were going to kill me, call me a faggot. Just all kinds of nasty stuff for like an hour. And at the time, I didn't know how to ban people on Twitch. And eventually, I figured it out, but they sat there for like an hour and just said the most, like, deplorable things. And it wasn't like a good-natured jest. It was, like, really bad, And when I had told people about that, I noticed there were several people who just laughed that off and they're like, oh, trolls. And then I noticed, like, there were women and they're like, oh, I feel so threatened. And I actually was, like, friends with this chick on Facebook. I can't even remember her name now. It's been so many years, I don't really care. I wasn't really close to her anyway. But I mentioned, she mentioned her being harassed by people online. And I was like, oh, I get it. I've been harassed too. And it wasn't like denigrating her in any way. You know what I'm saying? I was just like, I told her I can sympathize with you because I've been there. And she was like, well, actually, you really haven't been there. And I'm like, no, these guys were talking about raping me and killing me and calling me the N-word and saying every vowel thing under the book for like an hour straight. Like, it was like 8 different dudes. They were all like coordinating a fucking harassment campaign on me. And, you know, I'm like, how is that any different from you being harassed? Like, that, I mean, that's pretty clear-cut harassment. I think. Somebody literally telling you they're gonna rape you, you know. And she's like, well, if a guy tells me online, excuse me, he's gonna rape me, I'm afraid it's a threat. If a guy tells you it's just a joke. And I got really upset at her, and I'm like, okay, what makes it a joke? So you're telling me that a guy could tell me that he's gonna rape me and kill me online in a game. And that's fine. It's a joke. But if he says the same thing to you, it's a threat? I mean, then bear in mind this is online. So it's like we're talking specifically about somebody shit-talking you over the mic. Okay, we're not talking about like in person. That's very different. So I told her, I said, if we're both online and we're both getting harassed, and they're saying the same things to you and me, I said, how is it different just because I'm a male? Like, they're saying the same things. And she's like, well, you don't have to worry about them finding you. And I'm like, and you do? I'm like, they have just as much odds of finding me and doing it to me in real life as they do you. Or not, you know what I'm saying? They, you know, so... excuse me. So... And I think that contributes to part of the problem, because it's not that men don't get harassed in gaming, it's just like when it happens to men, they just shrug it off. You know, oh, it's good old trolling. So, like, there's this perception that more women aren't into COD, or games in general, I guess you could say, just because, you know, whoa, males don't want them there. And I can honestly tell you that in my experience, at least, sorry. In my experience, at least, I have never seen a guy not want girls in gaming. If anything, I've seen guys who wanted to find a girl who was into gaming. And all you need to do is look at all these chicks online who will literally say they play games just to get guys to sub to their OnlyFans. Like, I'm a gamer girl, and they don't play games. Like, it's a known thing. Because they know if they say they're into games, it will entice more men. So, like, if that was so easily findable, if half of gamers were female, then they wouldn't be, oh, I'm a female gamer, and guys would just come swarming. Because they're like, oh, you throw a rock, you'll hit a female gamer. You know? And on top of which... Even when you... Okay, so I just broke it down for you. It's only about 20% of console gamers are female. Even then, they don't run as much in the same circles. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That is terrible. I'm not excusing that. I'm saying, like, that happens to all these people, you know? Like... I'm just trying to point out the double standard, you know? Like, I have heard and been called some of the most foul things fucking imaginable online, okay? It got to the point where I literally would mute my mic and mute everyone on mic whenever I played COD. When I will play an online multiplayer shooter, I will never turn on the mic for that reason. I'm saying it happens to everybody. Almost never are they singling women out. They're literally just trying to shit stir and troll people. That's the point I was trying to make. That if it's said to a girl, it's a threat. If it's said to a guy, oh, it's just harmless trolling. And to me, it's all the same. You shouldn't be saying that shit to anybody. But in my experience, guys, male gamers want women in gaming. You know, because... God. Oh, God. Hold on one second. I gotta let my cat out or she'll never stop clawing at the fucking door.
I'm just trying to say that that happens to everybody. That's all. I'm not, like, denigrating it happening to you. It's not something that should happen to you. I'm pointing out, like, I'm just trying to, I guess, point out the double standard. That's all. I'm just trying to say, like, if women get harassed online, it's a big deal. If men get harassed online, nobody fucking gives a shit. It's all fun and games. When it's the same people saying the same shit, it's just the only difference I'm a man. That's not right. Like, if it's not like, I just don't like the double standard. Trolling is trolling. Shit talk and harassment, it's all the same. Like, it doesn't sit right with me to say that it's cool for men to go through it, but it's not cool for women to go through it. It's either all okay or none of it's okay. I don't think any of it's okay. I don't think you should ever be a fucking asshole online. I'm never a dick online. Ever. But, you can't control the internet. Unfortunately, you can't control people. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying, like, the overwhelming majority of guys that I've met, that I've talked to that are gamers, want female gamers. They want a female gamer in their life. They want a female gamer they can date. They just have trouble finding it because not only already... only 20% of console gamers are female. So that already makes them, like, outnumber every male gamer, outnumber every female gamer 4-1. But then they track in different circles. They found... Yeah. That's fair, but at the same time, this is online. This is on a fucking mic, Mary. This is not, like, an actual physical threat. This person doesn't know you, doesn't know where you live, doesn't know your information. They're not gonna fucking find you. You know what I'm saying? So, when women do play games, they tend to go on a more casual games. Like Animal Crossing, The Sims, stuff like that. Males tend to gravitate towards more hardcore games and more shooters. So, for example, take Call of Duty. Call of Duty is one of the best-selling games in the world. Game series in the world. They estimated, the last time they counted, that only about 7% of COD gamers are female. So, and not because women aren't welcome, because most women don't like playing COD. They've tried to entice them. They've shown statistically women gravitate away from first-person shooters mostly. So, like, a lot of people, were like, why isn't there more female pro Call of Duty gamers? And it's like, it's not that they don't want them. It's statistically, it's incredibly unlikely. Okay, so... Yeah. Yeah, that is fair. Women don't like the confrontation. Women are more passive-aggressive, and men are more aggressive. That is true. But, like, no, I was saying, like, people are like, why don't we have a female Call of Duty team, pro team? And I'm like, it's just statistically incredibly unlikely, okay? So, only 7%, like I said, the last time they estimated, of COD players are female, okay? And then only a certain percentage of that is going to be pro players. Obviously, not every female who fucking plays Call of Duty is going to be able to go to pro level. Very few men are able to play at a professional level of anything, okay? So you already start with 7%, a super tiny fucking chunk of that pie, and then you cut that down to like 10% of that for the top players, and you have like 0.1% of COD professional players are female. Not because they don't want female COD players, but because it's just super statistically unlikely. When you at max, you only have 7% of your fan base is female, and then you cut that down to the tiny percentage that's good enough to play pro, you're not left with very many. There's not even that many men who are good enough at Call of Duty to play it fucking professionally. So, they have female players. It's not like they're not welcome. There's just not a shit ton of them. And that's just because statistically, males are the target audience of Call of Duty. And, so a lot of women will wonder, why do games cater towards men? And the answer is not that they're sexist, that they hate women. It's good business. You know your target audience. If I told you that a particular type of person was 10 times more likely to buy your book, for example, say you wrote a book, wouldn't you try to market your book towards that group of people that is more statistically likely to buy your book than people that aren't statistically likely? So, yeah, in a way, the gaming industry does cater to men because we're the target demographic. We're the majority of people that buy games, you know? Yeah, Call of Duty went to shit. Last several Call of Duties have been trash. I've heard Black Ops 6 is pretty good, but I can't attest. I'm not going to play it. I have a passing interest in Call of Duty at best. I don't hate it. I'm not really a fan, though. I'm just saying, like, a lot of the catering towards men in the video game industry is not because they don't like women. It's because that's where the target audience is. You know what I mean? It's like romance movies. Are there men that like romance movies? Of course. Excuse me. I like romance movies. I am the exception, though. For the most part, the main demographic that watches romance movies, romantic comedies, date movies, you know, like Bridget Jones' Diary, Sense and Sensibility, shit like that, are women. So, when they go to make those movies, they don't care what men think about those movies. They're like, women are the people that are paying money to see our films. That's who we're going to target our shit towards. You know, that's why when you see makeup commercials, I guess people never change. That's why when you see makeup commercials, they're mostly women, because, yeah, there's men that are into makeup, but the overwhelming majority of people that are going to be buying makeup are women. Romance novels, the overwhelming majority of people that read romance novels are women. You know, it's not that men don't do it, it's just, so they're going to target the demographic. The majority of console gamers are men, so they cater to men. It's not like they hate women, it's just like simple business. If the majority of your customers are one group, you're going to cater to that group. You know, and there's just like this belief, you know, kind of leading back to the start of this. I know I went on a long tangent, it's my bad. But there's been like this tangent, there's been like this thing where it's like, women aren't in games because they're not wanted. No, for the most part, most men do want women in games. You know, it's just a lot of the time women aren't interested in games like men are, for one. And for two, they let a couple of assholes speak for all of us. There's always going to be assholes online. It does not matter how nice you try to be. It doesn't matter how good of a person you are. You're always going to run into a fucking dickhead online. It's just an inevitability. And they let those assholes speak for us, you know, because their voices are the loudest. They're the most fucking annoying. You know what I mean? There are so many gamers that aren't like that to women. And, you know, then they play fucking Call of Duty and they get a guy and like, oh, all male gamers are trash.
Will you return to Meridian and stay? Long enough for us to spend time, to get to know each other properly, perhaps.
I do hope to see Meridian again, Avant. And you. But this mission, it's my life. It's all I can think about. I have to stay focused. What happens after?
I mean, you know, obviously there's some guys that are sexist, for sure. There's some guys that don't want women in video games. Of course there is. There's always assholes. They're usually super fucking loud. I'm saying The vast majority of men that I've talked to, male gamers, want female gamers. They want female gamers as friends. They want to date female gamers. They're not trying to keep them out.
I can't imagine that. I wouldn't know where to begin.
Well, if that place were to end up being Meridian, know that you will always receive a boundless welcome here. Tend to your mission, Aloy. I will hope for your success, and look forward to your return.
And, you know, that I'm just saying, like, it's overblown. I think the vast majority of male gamers want female gamers. And instead we're being judged by loud, obnoxious fucking trolls who are usually in Call of Duty are fucking minors. So they're just dumbass fucking kids.
There. The workbench. Uthid. Vanasha. Thanks for being here.
Wouldn't miss it, even if you did leave us hanging after the big battle.
Vanasha, stop. She's here now, isn't she?
For the moment. But I see that look on her face. She's got business to attend to. And it isn't in Meridian.
You know, I didn't vanish before because I wanted to. I had...
Little Huntress, please. You don't have to justify yourself to us. You saved our butts. If you've got to go, go. With our blessing.
Always.
It's been months since I was in Sunfall. What's become of the Shadow Karja?
After you wiped out the Eclipse, there were hardly any priests or officers left to terrorize the little people.
Avad offered amnesty to all who were forced to serve the Shadow. So the commoners cleaned out the Citadel and handed it back to him. The Sundom was unified.
Avad wanted Uthid to take command of the garrison there, but Captain Cudley here refused. Rumor has it that he wanted to stay close to me here in Meridian.
That's nonsense, of course.
You both look like you're doing well.
Mr. Shiny Pants here is now the Sun King's senior military advisor. That means people actually have to listen to him talk? May the sun bless their sorry souls.
At least I say something of substance every once in a while.
What was that? I just fell asleep while you were talking.
And how about you, Vanasha?
I've been looking after Nasadi and Edaman. 2 parts bodyguard, 1 part...
Bad influence.
Huh. I was gonna say nanny, but I like your version better. Well, I know. You're out. Go! Away with you.
Always an honor, champion.
Always a pleasure. But please, little Huntress, come back someday and tell us about your adventures. If I can't get in trouble, at least I can hear about yours.
Okay. Master override installed. Plus, something new. To store up and release energy. Resonator. Should help in a fight.
Aloy, are you finished with your friends, or do you need more time?
I better get going. And if I'm headed west, it sounds like I'll need rite of passage from the Tenakth, as you said. Where exactly is this embassy going to be held?
Past the Daunt, the canyon that marks the western border of the Sundom. You'll find the fortress of Barren Light at its farthest edge. The embassy will take place just beyond its gates. It's a long march, a fortnight on foot.
A couple of days hard riding should get us there.
Actually, it might be better to rest here tonight. Head out in the morning.
Of course. I'll arrange it.
Am I the one to hold this crown of ash and salt? Their kindness calls to me. I have to block it out. My voice has grown so somber. These words don't seem like mine, but the iron won't subside. No matter what I try. Am I raindrops in the flood? In this emptiness, in the storm. If I falter, if I fall, the wave inside my soul carries all I know. Who can take my hand in the flood? A voice calls me forth through darkness unknown. My heart with silence burns through solemnness and bone. The edge beyond the shore, this weight of root and rod. I long to reach the other, to find the path we lost. And my raindrops in the flood, in this emptiness, in the storm. If I'm broken, if I'm torn, the wave inside my soul carries all I know. Who can take my hand in the
See, just this here, seeing her fucking travel across to the Forbidden West while the song's playing is fucking awesome.
Sparks to steel. Never seen anyone use one of those to get around.
Is that how I get to Barren Light?
Yes, I mean usually, but not today. Not yet.
And why is that?
Well, the Daunt. The whole valley. It's infested with machines.
I can handle machines.
Oh, I'm sure you can, but I'm under strict orders not to operate until the whistle down at Chain Scrape sounds the all clear.
Look, I didn't come all this way just to stand around and wait. I'll crank that car down myself if I have to.
Well, but then who would crank it back up? Fine, fine. Though, should anyone ask, it might be best to say you forced me.
I see smoke, but not a lot of activity.
Smoke's probably coming from something the machine... is wrecked. As for the quiet, well... there's a work stoppage in effect because of all the fuss.
What sort of machines are causing the trouble?
So pretty.
Lots of them. Bristlebacks, they're called. Strangeness is, they're not native. To the dawn. Just showed up. All of a sudden.
No hunters to kill them?
Oh, we've got hunters, just none that want to cross Ulvund. Boss of Chainscrape. He is self-appointed. Work stoppage was his idea.
Yeah, well, I'm just passing through. Got an embassy to attend.
You're still there, Mary?
You should have said. That ain't gonna happen no time soon.
What are you talking about?
Hear that? That's your answer.
Who is that?
Karja Sun Priest. Ranked him down yesterday, about an hour before the machine trouble started. He's a very important man, or so he says. That embassy at Barren Light, he's the one supposed to run it.
Great.
If you don't do as I say immediately, the Sun King himself shall hear of your insolence. Thanks to you, I was forced to spend the night shivering in the tent. Exposed to attack, I might have died. Oh, me you refused to transport, but not this... what? This Nora girl? This savage? Besides, scallywag.
Wadis. That's Aloy.
Studious Wadis.
Aloy, you know, savior of Meridian.
Really? Well, that lessens the insult, I suppose.
I came here for the embassy at Barren Light. Way I hear it, so did you.
Well, not with the valley infested. And so did Aramal, proclaim the Sun Priests most precious and worthy of safekeeping. See? Scripture. I shall head to Barren Light when the captain of the Vanguard tells me the way is clear, and not a moment sooner.
Fine. Captain's a friend of mine, you know? Where is Erend? Wouldn't mind speaking to someone a little more action, a little less... school.
Wadis.
Studious Wadis.
Studious Wadis sent Aaron and another Vanguard out at daybreak to clear the way.
And so at daybreak...
Hey! Shh. Down the valley then?
Yeah, said they checked the ruins on the left bank for tracks. Take it from there.
Okay. I hear there's a work stoppage. Any way to upgrade my gear?
I'll bet the Smith and Chainscrape would let you use his workbench. As for the Bristlebacks, you might want to craft some acid arrows. Hitting their canisters with those will take them down quick.
Thanks. I'll find Aaron and I'll bring him back. Hey! Where do you think you're going?
What? To the top of the ridge. To wait in safety.
Sorry. Operator's under strict orders. No passengers till the whistle blows, right?
That's right. Best start cranking.
Why? Why?
Jorf, would you kindly escort Studious to Chainscrape and wait for me there?
You got it.
I will find Erend, and I will help clear a path. But after that, no more excuses. Barren Light. Embassy.
If such be the will of the Sun.
It will be. Trust me. I gotta find Erend. But it might be good to hit Chainscrape first and upgrade my bow.
I love the aesthetic of this place. Ah, you bitch. Now it's time to get a mount.
I'll dry off. Eventually.
See, like, you actually get fucking speed! Like, the mounts just feel so much fucking better, to use.
Gemstone. It's green like blaze, but...
Let's see. I'm gonna start my timer. I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna take a short break. I'll be back.